Hi, my name is Hub Blanchette. In this video, the persons of interest are going to be my grand-aunt Angelina and her husband Leon Bush. They had a life of adventures and complications. Why am I going on my mother's side regarding Blanchette? Because my mother's grandmother was a Blanchette. So Angelina's mother was a Blanchette, because she's my great-aunt. And her name was Angelina and Blanchette. So I'm related to myself. More on that in another video. Anyway, here's some rapid details about some of their life and exciting adventures. Angelina and Leon, her husband, lived in various states: Rhode Island, Missouri, Texas, Colorado, Utah, California, and maybe others. Angelina's parents, Thomas Embo and Angelina Blanchette, raised their kids in Rivière-du-Loup, Quebec. Her father-in-law was born in Anselme, Quebec, died in Chicago, buried in Salt Lake, married in Rhode Island in 1887 to Del Parrish, who was buried in Colorado. Some questions that need answers. Where did Angelina and Leon meet? When did they meet? Why did she speak perfect English and my grandmother, her sister, speak no English? Who raised Angelina and her younger sister, Marie-Jeanne? To the right of my photo is the teenage granddaughter of Angelique, who I remember as Judy. Where is Judy? Okay, let's step back in time and introduce Angelina's in-laws, Joseph A. Bush Jr. and Adele Parrish. And Adele Parrish is my fourth cousin. Okay, so follow me. We're going to go try to find Joseph Bush. Take your time. Here we have Joseph Bush. He is the father-in-law of my great aunt. So my grandmother's sister and their mother was a Blanchette, even though it was on my mother's side. Recently, a nephew got married to a Bush, and it triggered all these memories for me. And I started doing research and found out that Joseph was not far from where I live. So what's Joseph Bush doing here? He was born in Quebec. Same with my great aunt. So personal story, because I loved my great aunt. She made a very positive impression on me when I was a child. She visited us during the summers. I was a naive farm kid who went to a little house on the prairie school, who had not been more than 40 miles from home. Grand aunt Angelina was from the United States, Colorado, who's funny and with it in my eyes, sophisticated and cool, dressed cool, had a great sense of humor, loving and fun to be with. And as I started digging more and finding out why is Joseph here, how did my aunt end up in Colorado, I've come up with some mysteries. Her mother died young. Her father was living by himself in the 1911 census. So she was only 11 years old at the time. So where was she? I got to answer some of these questions in the next little bit. So in this picture is a photo of Grand-Aunt Angelina and my grandmother, Marie Blanche. Her sister, who is 9 years older, is hugging her in a protective and loving manner. Their mother, Leonardo, died in childbirth in 1909 when Angelina was only 11 years old. A 1911 census shows their dad, Thomas, living alone, who raised 11-year-old Angelina and her younger sister, Marie-Jeanne, who was 4 after their mother died. Where was Angelique? To the right of my photo is the teenage granddaughter of Angelique, who I remember as Judy. Here's the picture of the sisters together. What a girl pack. So I got to tell you a little interesting story, but I remember being left at the house, not where Angelina lived, but that's one of her sisters lived. And this is an interesting story. So I was young, and they left me there. I remember playing with some friends. They talked about the McCaffreys, and I remember playing with them because some of them were my age and having fun. But anyway, I had a really bad toothache. So, of course, I was keeping them awake because it was getting later and later. I remember it being dark. Anyway, so they tied a string around my tooth, and I was sort of panicking, but the pain was so bad I didn't care. And then they tied the other end of the string on a door knob, and then they slammed the door. And my tooth came flying out, and I was a happy camper because the pain went away immediately. Anyway, so that is a little memory of those sisters, or a couple of sisters, or one of them, of Angelina and taking care of my toothache. Anyway, just a side story. Anyway, okay, bye. Hi, our channel is Blanchette Families in North America, where we research and gather Blanchette with an E-T or Blanchette with an E-T-E family records and share them, share interesting stories, persons of interest. A humble but proud clan with approximately 2.5 million living descendants of Pierre Blanchette and Marie Fournier in North America. If any questions, please put them in the comments below or email us at blanchetteandamerica@gmail.com, which is in the description below. Hopefully we provided something of interest or help to you. If we did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to stay in touch. Love you all. Okay, bye.